Brad, before the game, Dwayne Casey was asked about Isaiah scoring in the fourth quarter, even though teams knew he was going to get the ball. And he said he wasn't surprised because same thing happened with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. As crazy as it sounds, is it time to compare Isaiah to Larry Bird to Michael Jordan?
I don't really get into those arguments. Other people do. So I'll let everybody else argue away. But he's playing at a really high level. He's doing a lot of good things. But there's a lot of other guys that I thought really played well tonight to help us win. And we don't win without our bench. Specifically, I thought Terry and Tyler Zeller gave us huge lifts, late third, early fourth. And then, when Isaiah came back in, it was within shouting distance. And then when the rest of the starters came back in, they did a great job of, sealing the deal.
Just to go back to Bill's question for a second, though, teams know he's going to get it. I mean, how does he continue to?
Well, we try to put him. He's gonna. First of all, it's hard to keep a point guard from having the ball, because he can bring it up if you really need him to. But we just try to mix it up as much as possible with him on the ball, off the ball, screening, cutting, whatever the case may be. And eventually, things like Jalen's layup and other guys' layups, Isaiah's screening to get them open, and he'll never, get much talk about that. And that's just kind of the way the game works. Somebody's setting the screen to free him up. Somebody's making a cut to empty a space. Somebody's doing their job, and he's doing an incredible job of taking advantage of it.
Brad, why did you think you guys came out flat the first 2.5 quarters? And why, if you did?
I don't know. Wasn't very good, though.
And down 75-57, what were you thinking? I mean, did you see this transformation? Did you like how you guys were playing but weren't getting the breaks? Or what were you thinking when?
Thought it was going to be closer, 30. That's what I was thinking, because we needed to be at a different level. And, again, our bench was a big reason why we got back in it. We didn't play. I didn't think we played, very well for the first 2.5 quarters. I thought they had a lot to do with that. They put you in a tough spot. All those guys driving the ball, not just Lowry, who's incredible, but Joseph driving the ball, Norman Powell driving the ball. Like, those guys put you in a really tough spot. Sully played great tonight off the bench. And, didn't look good for most of the night.
I mean, one more. How does it feel to be able to kind of come back in the middle of a game like that? You guys, of course, if you guys play.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had problem responding to adversity in the last couple of years. We're pretty good about even losing a couple of games in a row, whatever the case may be. This team gets back up off the mat pretty good. We got to get a lot better though. Like, I told them after the game, it's not as good as we want to be. And I think it's my job to look at it objectively. It was a good win, but they were missing guys, we were missing guys, and if we're going to end up competing at the level we want to compete at, we've got to play better for 48 minutes.
Just to piggyback off of that, Brad, obviously you guys both weren't at full strength. They were coming off no rest, but you guys have struggled against these guys all year, going back to last year. Does this help you guys mentally at all? Just
what's crazy is I thought we played better in the first 2 games. Now, I'll go back and watch the film. Maybe I'm wrong, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes, they make big shots and big plays, and, you don't hang on and win by 4. And sometimes you do because the ball goes in, and I think that's why, again, I know I'm boring, but I'm going to look at it really objectively.
Coach, you talked about Tyler and Terry and Jalen. Can you talk about your mindset in going to those guys? Were you looking for a combination there, or matchups, or what was in your thinking?
I think obviously one of the things that we've got to be able to count on Terry and Jalen, and obviously Marcus brings us too, is that youthful bounce and that energy and that high, the eagerness to be out there. And I think that they've been really pretty consistent in that regard. And then, a guy like Tyler hasn't played because he was sick the last 3 weeks. Sat the last game, but played a pretty big role for us this past weekend. And the one thing about Tyler is Tyler's always going to provide a threat at the rim because he's always rolling and he's always running. And we needed more paint threats than we were getting in the first 2.5 quarters.
Brad, what did you like about the rebounding in the second half?
We got some. Thought that was good. First half, we could have probably made a highlight tape of not getting some, and bad blockouts, bad, finishes, all that stuff. It was good to, grab some. We still missed a couple blockouts, but again, it's like that's why I said you got to look at it objectively, because if the ball bounces to you, it doesn't mean you did a good job, right? And sometimes you hit and block out and you don't get it. So I don't know. I didn't think we were great on the glass all night. I don't know what the numbers say. I guess we were in the ballpark, but didn't feel that good.
Brad, Tyler had to really fill a role with Kelly being that late scratch. He was so aggressive going to the rim, even from the three-point line. What did you see out of him that did he kind of have that spark in him that he's needed?
He's really reliable. Tyler's going to come to work every day. It was killing him to not be able to play and be sick. And even when he didn't play last year, it was always the same Tyler coming and putting in extra work in the gym, asking what I thought before the game so that he'll get in extra conditioning at the arena if he's not going to play as much, if we don't think he's going to play as much. He's what, he prepares the way a professional athlete should. And so you feel really good when you put him in.